Hey, it's Aleksander Vitkin. Do you currently have a job as a software developer? Well, you must have noticed that some people who are freelancing, they're making between $100 and $300 an hour, and probably you've decided to do a little bit of research of what it's actually like becoming a freelance software developer. Well, in this video, we'll cover exactly that. We'll cover how to get started, how to fill your day, what to actually do, and how to potentially make it more valuable than having a software engineering job. So this video is not for you if you want some quick, easy money and you don't really want to spend time or effort on this. Obviously, to become a software developer as a freelancer or business owner, you're going to have to put in time, effort, you're going to have to learn new skills. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So if you're interested in that, then keep watching. So why should you listen to me? Why should you believe anything that I say about freelancing or running a business? Well, I've been in business since 2008, 2009. First, I started as a freelancer and then I transformed it into a business. And then eventually 6 years later, now I've taught over 700 people how to do the same. So let's talk about the first topic. Is it safe? Is it safer to have a job or is it safer to be a freelancer? Well, both have advantages and disadvantages. So the advantage of having a job is you are there and most likely you're going to be there for 3 months or beyond. Most jobs, they cover a multi-year trajectory for most software developers. Some of them, of course, quit after a month or so, or they're not the right fit and they quit after a week. But on average, people want to stay for a year or two in a company before they move on to the next company, usually for some advantage like higher pay. So the disadvantage of having a job as a software developer is you're there in an office, you cannot really travel usually, most companies don't allow that, and you don't have the freedom to get all the clients you want, to multiply your income or hire team members and really build something that is yours. You're working for someone else, building what they want you to build. You don't have very much choice over that once you accept the job, and you can get moved around like a cog in a machine. And that's okay, you know, lots of people do this, perfectly respectable position in the business, but it's not really for people who want freedom, who want control, who want authority, and who want influence. You can't really get that very easily at all in a job. Whereas as a freelancer or business owner, that is the status quo. So as a freelancer or a small agency owner, you have all the freedom. You can choose the clients that you want to work with. You can choose the projects you want to work with. You can choose how much you charge. It's of course up to them to accept or reject. You'd be surprised how high you can drive up the hourly rates and the project rates as a freelancer or agency owner, because it's completely flexible. And as you're learning and getting better at dealing with clients and having projects delivered, you can charge much more, incrementally so, or sometimes exponentially, depending on how you structure your career or business. So here's how it works. So in a job, you do interviews, and then eventually one of the interviews you did gives you an offer that you accept, and they accept, and then you go there, move to that city, and you sit there and work in a job, and you get told what to do by your boss, and you progress in your career on a year-to-year basis or so. As a freelancer, you're doing what's called lead generation. You're talking to potential clients, and you're the one interviewing them and making sure that you find the exact type of client you want to work with that can afford your fees, and then you're choosing how to deliver the project yourself. It's not you working in their business, following all their rules and having all the regulations that you need to follow and all the complicated contracts as an employee and all the hours you need to work there. It's not really about that anymore. It's more about how do you build your ideal career as a freelancer or agency owner. And furthermore, you can outsource the work and you can have assistants help you with the grunt work, you know, with the daily grind of coding. Okay, so if you want to do it yourself, no problem, you can do that. But most people, when they start as freelancers, they tend to transition to running a business where they have a team. So they leverage their time to supplement how much time is spent on a project. And I even have clients and friends who spend just 5 to 20% of their day actually coding, and the rest of the time they spend on getting new clients and building out their own business, which multiplies their income. So you can go from $75 an hour or so all the way to $1,000 an hour plus, because you're leveraging the time of other developers, their expertise, their know-how, all their years of experience. You can leverage that as a freelancer and agency owner. So even if you don't want that, if you just want to code and you want to be a freelancer, it tends to get paid a lot more than a job per hour. And you can basically figure out your own schedule in your own day, spend as much time as you want with your loved ones, as long as you do the work and deliver the deliverable. And you can even travel. You can be anywhere in the world while working. You do not usually have to be on location. Some companies will ask you, but you can just say no. And on a week-to-week basis, you can change your mind and take on new projects, other clients in other parts of the world that pay you more. And it's really hard to do this in a job because these are multi-month commitments. Whereas as a freelancer, you have a lot more freedom. That is kind of the definition of freelancing. It even has the word free in it. Now, of course, you'll want to get freelance contracts that are long-term. Of course, you want to work on big, important, influential projects. I understand that. And it is your choice based on your own skill and ability to talk to clients and determine what you want to work with to choose. And that's the beauty of freelancing. So I already hinted at it, but there's a level above freelancing, and that is running an agency. So the difference between straight up selling hours as a freelancer and coding and running an agency is, in an agency, you hire a team and you manage projects. You're the main architect if you want to be, and you determine how the project is run and how the process for every project works. And if most projects have the same process over and over and over, that means your team can have a lower skill level. And that way, it's easier to hire them. They're cheaper. You have to pay them less money. And you can deliver faster with less hassle, because it's basically the same project over and over. Sounds boring? Not really, because you're building your own business and not necessarily just someone else's business by working for them. So can you do this without skills if you're not a developer? To be honest, not really. It's pretty much impossible unless you have a business partner who's going to teach you everything, and he's a developer, full stack developer, or he understands the ins and outs of the projects and the coding languages that are being used. And basically, he's the CTO, Chief Technology Officer in your business. If you have someone like that who shares a profit in your business and he treats it like his own business, perhaps it is possible for you to do it if you're not a developer, you don't have any skills. But generally speaking, you will want to start alone, and you'll want to do it in a way where you are the expert and you know how to screen and interview other people to work in your business. And you can tell if they're good developers or not. You can test them. And you know, based on reading their code and them sharing their screen and their webcam, that they're doing the work and that they're doing it properly. And that way you can build out teams and leverage your own time better. That's the smart way of doing it. So if you want to start freelancing or even leveraging your time and building an agency, how do you start? Do you start with super cheap or free projects and go on from there? Generally speaking, my recommendation is absolutely not. Never go for the cheapest project, because companies and individuals who want cheap projects, they're usually not very savvy when it comes to dealing with you. And if you're starting out and they're starting out as well, none of you have any experience, it's gonna be kind of messy. The interaction is gonna be kind of messy. So it's better if you charge good money from day one, $1,000 and way above that from the first project onward, because you'll deal with people that are more serious, they'll take you more seriously, they'll be better communicators, and they will not disappear mid-project because they change their minds, because they invest serious money, right? People don't really vanish if they invested a lot of money. So let's talk about getting those clients as a freelancer or agency owner. So the current number one best way is to go on Upwork and freelance on Upwork, get clients on Upwork. There are tens of thousands of monthly job posts on Upwork, and you can go on there and pick the very best ones to potentially work with. Interview them, get them on a call if possible, and make sure you want to work with them and they can afford your fees. And then you can choose who you work with. Of course, you need your portfolio, your team's portfolio. It needs to be on your profile, so it needs to look very legit before you have such choice. But once you have it on your profile, once you're submitting proposals, it is a very, very good platform. Upwork is fantastic to get started. There's also freelancing platforms, especially in the United States. Huge corporations hire freelancers, also remotely, to work on these banking projects, AI projects, and so on. Then there's, of course, LinkedIn, great place to find jobs, but also freelance projects. So let's talk a little bit about how to split up your day, how to schedule your day. So as a freelancer and not an agency owner, you will most likely be going from client till client sequentially, or perhaps 2 clients at a time or 3 clients at a time, and pausing your interviews with potential new clients while you're doing that, because you want to be working on the projects and delivering them as quick as possible in between doing lead generation and getting new clients. So what you want to be doing there is you want to schedule your day where you're coding 5 to 8 hours a day, and the rest of the time you're either studying, learning new skills, or you're resting so you can be ultra efficient during those 5 to 8 hours of coding. As an agency owner, this changes. You're constantly talking to new prospects. You're constantly filling the pipeline with new leads that are potentially good clients, and you're constantly interviewing them, interviewing new team members, and building out the processes and talking to your existing clients while the work is being delivered primarily by the people who work for you. And again, I have many other videos that cover this in detail, but this is the summary. So which skills are required? In addition to the technical skills, of course, we're not going to be talking about those. I have a different video about that. You can check it out in the description. But in addition to the technical skills, what do you actually need to know as a freelancer or small agency owner? Well, you need to know how to talk to clients in their language about their needs, desires, dreams, and ambitions. Not very hard to learn, even for introverts or people who are not very communicative. Don't worry, I also used to be like that. You can learn how to talk to people. It is just a skill. It is not too hard for anyone to learn, no matter what you think of your ability currently. You can learn the skill, and then your value in the marketplace rises dramatically. Soft skills are extremely important, even more important than the hard skill. And proof in this is that most of my students that are currently freelance developers or agency owners, they do this and they focus primarily on talking to clients, even if they were full stack developers full time before. They learn how to talk to people, and then their leverage and the value that they have in the marketplace, how much they charge per hour and per project, goes up dramatically. However, you need also other skills. You need to learn how to hire. What I recommend is, of course, getting mentorship in this so you learn faster. These are all learnable skills. Or you can learn this online by reading books like Top Grading, which is a gold standard hiring practice book. So if you find this content valuable, click on the subscribe button and the bell notification icon to receive all future updates, because I release these videos regularly for developers. Check out the other videos in the playlist as well. And if you have any questions, I reply to all comments personally. So see you in the comments, and see you in the playlist linked in the description, and also here if you can see the pop-up.